Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Enel. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP07. Come at you guys here on the channel, which I'm very excited to bring to you. Now, I know you guys love and hate this leader, don't we all? But he will be a problem in OP07 and in the future, currently to come. And at your locals, I'm sure there's a lot of players out there playing this guy. He still is picking up regional wins. He's picking up flagship event wins. He's everywhere. He's a deck to beat. He's also a deck to play. Love him or hate him, he's very strong for what he's able to do in the current format. Now, with that being said, since OP07 has came out, he's getting a lot of new pieces here. And we're going to talk about my deck list here. We're going to go over a bunch of games as we normally do here on the channel. We're running with 16 2K counters today, with 4 Flampe, 4 Hiyori, 4 Frankie, and then 4 Capones, which is quite ridiculous, right? Very defensive build, considering the fact that we're really looking to get to late game as quickly as we possibly can, and as safely as we can. That way we have enough life to take out the game. Now, with the added benefit of Frankie, this allows you to draw 1 card off trigger when you hit Frankie, and if you have 1 or less life, you can also play this card on board. So you get a body, a draw, all in one, which is really good. Frankie really makes a home in this deck, and I think that if you aren't running Frankie, give it a shot. Let me know what you think about it. I think he's a very much included card that you need to have in this list. He does a lot for it, considering the fact that we don't run with a lot of small bodies with Enel anymore, other than things like Gedetsu, 7-drop Enel. That's pretty much it. Everything else here kind of just helps Enel get to the point where he needs to be to do a lot of damage and be a big problem. But we've also gained access to a brand new card, such as, Monkey D. Luffy here, in Egghead. This is a card that you guys may see in certain Enel lists. This might be a card that's going to be in every Enel list out there. But he has a similar ability to Onami. Onami will pop 5 cost or less if this is a trigger. Luffy pops 4 or less if this is a trigger. But he also has an on-play ability for Activate Main. When you play this card on board, you can activate the ability to pop this, trash this card, if you have 2 life or less. Which isn't really hard to get to with Enel, right? Because we like to take damage early just to gain that massive hand, which is fine. But if you trash this card, you can go ahead and pop anything on your opponent's side of the field that's 4 costs or less, and you get to replace it by drawing a free card. So, this is going to be a staple, I think, going forward in most Enel lists as well. And to be able to run Onami and Luffy, that's 8 triggers that you have a possibility of removing something on your opponent's side of the field, which is really strong. Now, there are going to be some lists out there that also include Sabo or don't run Sabo. I want you guys to give this card a chance and let me know what you think about it. I think that playing with this in Enel is very good. It's a tech choice, of course, but for me, there's a lot of problematic cards out there in OP07 that you have to deal with immediately, or if you need to remove, you can do so with Sabo. And some prime examples, you have Ivan from Dragon decks, Bello Betty decks, who allows you to play free Revo cards. Karasu, we all know what this guy does. Very problematic unit, especially if they're trying to go for game. Shiraya, which is going to be in every Whitebeard deck, mostly, if you guys are still seeing Whitebeard at locals, and in every LOL deck, of course. Monkey D. Luffy, still a problem overall, because we don't run with a lot of blockers, but at the end of the day, this can sneak in a cheeky little hit. Because there are some Enel lists that do run with Shirahoshi blockers or Sanji blockers. You have the option to do that. Just seeing a Luffy here can be a little scary sometimes. You have Bonnie with Cavendish. This is going to be a problematic card that needs to be removed as soon as possible. Once you get the chance to get rid of it, this enables Bonnie to set up so many plays with Eustace Captain Kidd, coming down on curve, which is nice. Yamato, that can be cheated out with Hiyori inside of multiple different green decks right now in the current format. Mainly Yamato and Perona. That's really just about it. But overall, this is a very scary card for Enel to deal with because it has double attack and banish. And then, of course, one of the prime engines of Bonnie, allowing her to set up extra Dawn at the end of her turn. You need to get rid of these cards as soon as possible, and Sabo does just that for you. And then, for the blue decks that you guys will run into, whether it's Doflamingo or Boa, some of the key pieces to pop on board when you have an opportunity to. Gecko Moria, 6k body, a little bit of a sticky unit. And Edward Weevil, the same thing, a little bit of a sticky unit, and Doflamingo. That's really about it when it comes to blue. They don't have a lot of, you gotta get rid of this card ASAP, at least in the 5 and under slots right now in the current format. But a lot of other decks do. RP Law with Kid and Queen, black decks with Kuzan, Kaku, Sabo, Rob Lucci. Yes, I understand Sabo has the on play, but for the following turn, then you can pop it, you know. Rob Lucci. Shaka is going to be pretty strong here as well inside of Vegapunk. So being able to get rid of this when you try to go for game here is going to be pretty key sometimes, if you're able to get that off. Ace, still quite strong in decks such as Enel, Yamato, and Black Yellow Luffy. You know, this is something that you guys can remove with Sabo as well as their Luffy. But overall, those are just some key examples that you can use the Sabo for your advantage, right? Like I said, you don't have to run it. I just think it's a pretty nice inclusion inside of this list. Of course, we have access to Raigo, which this allows you to deal with every threat in the current format, you know, from Yamato's, Katakuris to Enel's, anything in the game you can just wipe out. Of course, you go down to 1 life with Enel, but that's not such a big problem due to our leader ability. But overall, this is currently what I'm cooking up here when it comes to Enel and OP07. There are some other cards here I want to talk about real quick before we dive into a bunch of games today, and that is the 7-drop Enel along with the Hiyori. The 7-drop Enel is going to be a very, very good card here going forward, especially when you guys are playing into black decks. So, usually, you would run something like Kikunojo. This is a very good card here in most yellow decks as well, but I think you can still fit this in if you take other cards out. It's a very good card into black, because if they remove it, you get the heal a life. In Enel, it doesn't necessarily matter all too much, but it is a very key card to winning certain matchups, you know, like Gecko Moria or Rob Lucci, because they have to make a choice whether or not they want to heal you or let this card keep swinging for 6, 7, or 8k. Enel also does the same thing, except for he has Rush, and he has basically 2 lives, which is nice, right? Now, we also included the Hiyori in this list, and I know a lot of Enel players are not running Hiyori. It's not a problem if you don't have it. You can opt to run 2 to 4. I generally like to run 4, just because this card enables so many different setups in this deck. Not only in Enel, but in every other yellow deck in the format. I think this is going to be a staple going forward until we get something better, but this allows you to set up your zero-cost events in your life, especially when they try to go for game. Because with this in your leader ability, you'll heal 2 instead of just healing for 1, which is really good. Because you'll get 1 from your leader ability, and you'll get 1 from the zero-cost event. So now you're back at 2 life. You know what I mean? It's a very, very nice combination, and this is really the only reason why I have Hiyori in here, other than just to plant the zero-cost event or to plant a Shirahoshi. That's basically it. And those off occasions where you can just stick a Veggie in life. But overall, let's dive into a bunch of games here and see what we can cook up. I'll see you guys in a split second. Now, before we dive into today's games, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Sleeve Chief for sponsoring today's video. You guys should know Sleeve Chief. They make a bunch of different sleeves, deck products, and all of the good stuff. Now, tomorrow, we have a brand new sale that's coming out. We have actually a bunch of new releases, in which solo leveling, Enel, a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, let alone Law, will be getting a brand new restock when it comes to his sleeves, such as Surgeon of Death here. Zoro will be getting a restock as well. And they've also included Dawn sleeves when it comes to Law, which are really, really good looking. Enel's sleeves will be right on screen right about now, which I know a lot of people are going to be very much looking forward to, especially for those Enel players. In any case, let's go ahead and dive into today's games. I'll see you guys in a split second. Let's go. I don't know how I feel about this, actually. This might be a very, very scary deck to deal with, especially with all the new cards that she's got added to her pool, such as Dragon and stuff, but we'll see how this goes. And I have to deal with all the Red Rocks as well. But in any case, hopefully you guys are going to be enjoying this one. I know Enel is not necessarily a loved character, especially in OP07 right now, or in the current format. He's a very irritating leader to deal with. He's very strong, but unfortunately, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, boys and girls. I'm sorry. Let's get that 7k banner swing off, see what we can do here. I don't think this would be something that she would guard for, but you never know. Cool, we'll take it. Kid and Killer, that's good. So now we know that she's running a little bit of an aggro variant here, so that's something I have to watch out for as well. Ulti, a little bit slow, that's fine. We can play down Gadetsu here to pop the ulti, just to have another body on board as well would be pretty nice for the following turn. It might not be the prime target that I'm looking for here, but it's something. I just have to be a little bit careful on putting a lot of bodies down on board. Because she goes to 7 Dawn next turn, and I'm guessing she might have Gravity Blade. It might be a good time to use it anyway. Because if not, I at least threaten 2 damage by going 7/7 with Enel and Gadetsu. Because our hand doesn't have, all too much right now. We do have a bunch of 0-cost events that we can get rid of the dead cards, but it is what it is. Yep, Gravity Blade. Cool, we can play down Flampe here. Because now we are on our 7 Dawn as well, or 8 Dawn, sorry. And playing down anything other than that would be pretty, not so good. Let's poker for 9. Debating on playing Frankie. I think it's better to just keep Frankie and play down Flampe, just to draw 2 cards here. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just play this. And then next turn we can play Katakuri to bounce that to life if it survives. As much as I wanted to have Katakuri on board here, there's nothing really for me to do other than put itself on top of life, and that seems kind of irrelevant here. Oh, okay. Pudding. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, it's not... I'm not mad about it, considering we still have some big bodies, but... a little rude. It's fine. At least she can't attack here, so... I get to do nothing besides just draw cards and get big bodies, I hope. What'd she take this time? I guess we don't know, right? Truthfully. Yamato. We don't heal from this. But we still can pop ulti or pudding. I just don't know if it's worth it. Katakuri. Let's just do the Katakuri. Let's heal life with Katakuri and then go 7k to face. It seems like the better plan. Because I kind of want to be healthy here for Dragon and or like whatever she decides to play on board. She could have Shanks, Newgate. There's a lot of problematic red cards that I'd have to deal with in this matchup. So, nice. Get some 2Ks and another pudding out of hands, which is pretty nice. What are you cooking up here? Let it survive for 1 turn. Don't red rock me, please. Just 1 turn is all I ask. Okay, alright. I mean, I mean, he survives, but I can't do anything with him. And 5k, we'll take that, it's fine. If she wants to swing in with ulti here, that can go in for 8k. Do we counter this one? At 8? Oh, just 5. Okay, cool. We'll counter that then. I thought she would go for, at least 8k, but that 3 Dawn... Oh, Zoro. Fair. 5... This board is getting kind of scary right now. Let's pop that. I'm glad we didn't play Yamato the last turn. I mean, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered there, because we could just play Katakuri to put that on life or whatever, but still. Now she's forced to either red rock me here, or Shanks. I was hoping for the red rock, but I guess that's a problem. There's 5. We get ace from that. Cool. Counter out of this one. Another Veggie. At least we can clear some of this board here. Let's go ahead and put this on top. In case Shanks decides to attack us. Katakuri here. It's probably better to heal myself, right? Like, truthfully. Go 5 into this. Cool. Let's go 8 into the other one. This way she only has 1 body on board. And I don't have to deal with it. I mean, in hindsight, right? Going 8k to face is probably the better play. Because if she attacks with ulti first, she just gets the Hiyori. And I think Shanks is going to attack into Katakuri, so it doesn't really matter in that scenario. Another red rock. Cool. That's 2 removal pieces. No, 3 removal pieces she's seen so far. Red rock, Gravity Blade, and Shanks. And now I would think she would attack into the Katakuri. Oh, 8 to 8. I mean, I guess we can counter out and then force the attack with Shanks. Nice. Okay. Another Yamato. 3, 4, 5. Yams pops the ulti, but we can go 5 into ulti here as well. She's got 6 cards in hand, 1 Dawn up, so that's probably a happiness punch if I had to guess. Let's go 6 to face. Okay, Radical Beam, never mind then. We'll pop that. So far, not bad. I do know after playing around with Vivi in our last game, our last video, I have a lot more respect for the leader. Even though it's not necessarily like, you know, top tier meta or whatever, it's very fun. And it does have a lot of pieces that are going well for it. And I think this is one of those matchups where Vivi can body a lot of Enel decks. Can't really guard out of that if I wanted to, huh? So we get Sabo. Sabo's pretty much dead right now, unfortunately. This might be a bad idea, but we're just going to go for it. See if I can get these last 2 lives out of the way. Because at this point, we can just play down Ace and go face, right? She does have a lot of cards in hand, so it's probably very difficult to do. But I think we can get there. We probably can get there. Because there's no way Yamato lives this turn. Whether it's a Red Rock or Kaido attacking into it, doesn't necessarily matter. We don't have the counter in hand. Of course it's a Red Rock. Goodness, man. What do you do here? 4 Dawn open. I'd imagine that's saved for events. Because we could just go 15k lead. We can go ahead and Veggie the Shanks. Remember, we put that there, so that can't swing. She draws off leader ability. I think it would be a mistake here to go 15 into lead. I feel like we'd be playing into like a Whitebeard almost, and I don't want to do that. With all the cards that she has in hand with 2 Dawn open, we kind of got to play it safe. Okay, so we get a 1k out of hand. We can heal up with the Ace, and then go 10k again. I still feel like, okay, yeah. So I felt like she had events, otherwise she wouldn't have left up the Dawn. Perhaps. There's 10. So we got the 0 cost. Okay, not too bad. Was that 3 cards out of hand there? And we can do it again next turn as well. Never mind. Boa is so good against this matchup. It's kind of insane. We have to counter this one. And then we can take both these hits here. If she decides to attack into me. If she wants to clear Ace, she can, right? Oh, okay. Alright. That's fair. Because of our ability, I guess. That's fair. Let's play down another one. Heal again. We'll go 10 to face. I don't really care about the board. I think at this moment in time, we just need to push it. And this is before she gets like any more blockers on board. I don't know if she has the Doflamingo blockers or what's the guy's name? X-Drake? Happiness punches. Okay. A 2k and a 1k counter. Alright, so next turn, I think we can actually go for game. Successfully. As long as she doesn't put a blocker on board, we can probably clean up. Okay. 11. Yep. Unfortunately, we got an Enel there. Like, we have to counter this one. And then boom and boom, right? Give me something good. Nope. I mean, another Ace is pretty strong, right? To be fair. Kill the Ace. Good job. Do you have enough to protect yourself here? Well, actually, no. She has no Dawn open. Either way, though, very scary matchup, especially with all these big bodies on board. I think our ability for our leader really let us hold on here. Very scary deck to play against. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game, coming at you guys with Enel into, that looks to be our Red-Green Law, which is a deck we don't see that often here. But with the release of OP07, he does gain access to new cards, such as Cavendish, so this could be something pretty spicy. Now, with that being said, I don't think Red-Green Law is very good in the current format, at all, I'm sorry. With Deco Moria, Rob Lucci, Perona, you know, just one card, such as the 8-drop Sabo or the 4-cost Rob Lucci, it breaks your whole board. With a deck that really needs units on board to utilize your leader ability, it's kind of hard to do that right now in the current format. And I'm going to try to take this game the same way. I'm going to try to control board as much as I can. I say that and I go 8k to face, but still. Next turn we have the ability to run leader into Jewelry Bonnie, play down Sabo to pop something. We lose a life in the process, but we take out 2 units, and I think that's very, very important here in this matchup. You have to enable his leader ability to take control of the game. Which, you know, harder said than done, right? Or sorry, easier said than done. But whatever, you guys understood. Sanji, that's going to be a problem for next turn. He gets to draw cards, gain a power boost, and do a lot of damage. Oh, that's nice. No, he doesn't. We'll pop that instead. Sorry, buddy. Get an ace. Go 5 into Bonnie. This might not seem the greatest play, but we can just pop this, lose a life. It's not that big of a deal in Enel, so controlling this board is top priority anyway. Also, we got rid of 2 Jewelry Bonnie Searchers, and we're only on turn 3. So I don't know if he runs Kid in this deck or not, but, you know, that's good enough for us. Not for him not to be able to search into it. 6 Dawn. We have to be mindful of Cavan. Never mind. Never mind. Maybe we should have saved the Sabo here, actually. I spoke about how good Sabo is in certain decks to pop, you know, 5 cost and under units, and we use it to pop Bonnie there, so that's kind of crazy. Do I mind this? Because he'll attack me with leader, we just use leader ability, so it's not really a big issue. Another 0-cost event. We'll take this one as well. There's no reason to counter out. We'll use Rygo, we'll pop the Zoro. Rygo first, pop that, and we'll discard a 0-cost event to stay alive. Okay. Apparently they're just meant to be in my hand today. Let's get down to Hiyori. Let's take that. Ooh, that was a pretty good one too. Put that in life. Let's go 9k to face with Sabo, and we'll go 7 with Enel. You know, in hindsight, I should have swung 7 first and then 9k afterwards, but too late now. Oh, alright. You love to see it. Please don't swing. I think you want to play something on board first. That way you can restand 2 Dawn. Like, wouldn't you want to do that? That seems to make sense. Okay, alright. We'll give him the 0-cost event. And I know this is probably going to be a bad take, or a bad play, but we should probably use a 0-cost event and get rid of either the Beji or Frankie here. I kind of need the Yamato and the Ace to stay alive into the later game. And just in case we find another Hiyori to plant back in the 0-cost event, we need to keep that. 4, 7, another Cavendish. I have no idea why you decided to do that. Your abilities cancel each other out when you have 2 Cavendishes on board, so that sucks for him. This kind of gives me the impression that he didn't read the card, maybe. Or maybe he knows, just didn't care. I'm gonna say he didn't read it, but it is what it is. So he will not restand any extra Dawn when Cavendish swings, due to the fact that there are 2 Cavendishes on board. We can play down Yamato, pop the Curly to Dan, heal a life. And then we'll just go 5 and 6k to face with leader and Sabo. I don't really care about the Cavendishes now, because they cancel each other out. Of course, they're problematic when they hit me, but eh. We're Enel. It's not really that much of a big deal. Got rid of a Makino there, which is pretty good. She's not really going to boost up, you know, Cavendish's or Zoro's, but speaking of Zoro's, but she does give him access to leader ability quite early, because she's cheap to play down. 4 Dawn open. This is a lot of attacks right now, man. What's that, 5? With the possibility of more. Okay, so Chopper hits down. 6. We'll counter this. What do you do now? 4 cards in hand. We'll counter this one as well. Alright, so we get a 2k off that. Remember, the 0 cost event is our last life. So that means we'll gain 2 lives, which is fine. So no matter if he does... Okay, never mind. We're chilling. Counter that. We'll have to eat at least one of these swings, unfortunately. Pop this. Do the 0 cost event first. Throw away that, heal a life, and then we can do the Enel's ability by popping down the veggie. Or getting rid of the veggie, sorry. Darn. If only that was a Nami to pop the chopper, that'd been great. Got a Sabo, though. I don't know if I can risk that. So let's go 5 face. Does he have enough counter for all this? We'll go 9. Interesting. Okay. 1 life left. So technically, he's got 3 cards in hand. We could go 9 with Sabo, 7 with Leader, and then 5 with Hiyori. Right? Yeah, we could have done that. I feel like we just made a misplay by not just adding the Dawn. But we can take it slow. We can play down Ace here, heal a life, go 10k. And do it this way. I think we can stay alive. So let's clear Cavendish, just in case. We'll pass it up. So I'm pretty sure we messed up there. I think we should probably just put the Dawn over on our units and went for it. Well, maybe it didn't really matter. Maybe he had the counter anyway. I don't really know. I'm sure you guys in the comments will let me know if that was the play. If I should have donned up instead of playing down the ace, right? But he's got 4 swings right now currently. Chopper. Okay, so he is going to probably play down Law if he has it. Yep. So there's a big blocker. What do you bounce though? It might have been better for him to bounce, you know, a Zoro, and then play Zoro back down later with Law's ability. Or just playing him down, you know, hard cast. Like, let the Zoro swing first, then play down the 5 cost blocker Law. But hey, what do I know? Two Dawn open. So we... Okay, never mind. Cavendish will reset and stand up 2 Dawn here. So he has enough for leader ability. Yep. Ooh, Egghead Luffy. Pop that. Oh, he's just going for it. Alright. Fair. Yellow things doing yellow things. What do you want me to do? Can't attack that. You know, to be fair, it didn't matter if we got to Veggie or not. Okay, it did not matter. We would have been at 0 life here, so he couldn't swing with the Law and the Chopper. The Luffy, I think, won the game in this scenario. Like 100%. And now we just win. What did he have in hand, though? I think it was the Law, the 5 costs, and... what else? Bro, just take it on the chin, my guy. Goodness, man. We'll probably play one more game after this one, and then we'll dive back into the deck list here. I feel like playing into Yamato as Enel is You guys can go AFK, go lay down, take a nap, take a shower. You can make a bunch of misplays as Enel and still do fine. This is just me, but I feel like this match is very, very hard for Yamato to deal with. And this is coming from somebody who put out nothing but Yamato content for a very long time. One of my favorite leaders to play in One Piece right now. She's very strong. She has some pretty good matchups, but I think into Enel, she really just has to go lay down somewhere. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a very one-sided situation. But who's to say? There are a bunch of different variations that Yamato can play around with, and you know, I know this, you know this. The deck is very flexible. I will be diving into another list later on this week when it comes to Yamato here, so I want to play around with Flame Split and see how I feel about it. But overall, with Enel and the way how he is in the current format, I think that Yamato has a very slim chance of coming out on top, you know? That's just my opinion right now. I think you guys might agree with this. I could be wrong. But we're going to dive back into this game and see what we can do here. We also got quite a bit of cards out of hand already, due to the fact that I guess they were afraid of our Nami banish for some reason. There comes an ace. Oh, interesting. 3 cards, turn 3 is wild to me. It's 9. Sure, I'll take that. Ooh. We'll pop the Hiyori, just in case they have another Momonosuke. I'll take that as well. Discarding that is not too bad. It's either that or the 7-cost Enel there. Play Raigo, pop this. Get that threat out of the way. Now let's go 6 to lead. There are 7k, so it doesn't really matter in this scenario. So now with the ace and the Momo out. Okay, there's another ace. Fair enough. It's 9k swing here. Or 10. Sure. Sabo. Sabo's pretty good, I think, in this scenario. We can just get rid of the Enel. It has no counter. It's not really going to help us out. As much as I'd rather just take the hit, it's not really that big of a deal, because we can just play down a Katakuri to heal up with the Onami on top. We should counter out, but I don't really feel threatened. We have enough counter in hand in case they want to go like banish play or whatever. And Onami will pop the ace, so. Yeah, that was risky. I understand, but it's fine. Because we could have countered it, then put the Onami on top, then we'd been at 2 life. I get it. And yeah, I probably should have done that. But we'll be alright. It's okay. Do we have the Onami banished, though? Is that the play? Zoro. Interesting. Zoro pass. That's pretty spooky. But I don't really think it matters here. So we have a lot of ways to get out of this and still be fine. We have a lot of counter in hand here as well. Let's go 5 lead first. And then we'll go 8 lead with Katakuri. So they did have the Onami. Kikinojo. Oof, that's a scary board now. We can heal up with the ace and go 10k. Another guaranteed damage. And now we have to deal with 3 attacks from Zoro, 1 from Ace, 1 from Kikinojo, and 1 from Yamato here. We have 3 life. But our hand is looking pretty good. What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, what, 9, 10, 11? No, sorry. 12k counter? I think we're fine, boys. I think in this scenario, they really need to figure out how they go about doing this turn. Zoro has to swing 3 times at the very least, right? And it's either swinging for 10Ks, or it tries to clear board. If it tries to clear board, that's something I really can't do too much about. I'll try to protect the ace if I'm able to, because I think I'll need the ace on board. Because they play down a Hiyori. So that may give me the impression that they have a Momonosuke in hand here, which they can bounce the Kikinojo back to top of life to heal 1. Depending on what they do with the next couple Dawn here. Because they also need Dawn for Zoro, right? Alright, so he's clearing board. There's no other reason to stack that many Dawn on him unless he is clearing board. That's 14k. Yep. I could protect this, but it's easier to keep Ace on board than it is Katakuri. So I think he'd just Dawn up with the Ace and go into this as well. So let's let this one go for now. And if he decides to play down Momonosuke, we can play down Sabo to pop it and go 10k with Enel. Well, actually, never mind, because he'll just heal one by putting the Kikinojo to life, so that won't work out. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, Sabo here, no trigger. Zoro can swing 2 more times here. Attacking me just gets the Ace killed. Okay. And I think in this situation, if he swings in with Ace, we just pop the Hiyori, right? Let me get out that way. Sorry, buddy. You cannot have him. I need him. Good luck. I think that's game. We have Yamato here as well. Let's go 10k to face. What'd you have? Absolutely nothing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last one for the day when it comes to Enel. As much as you guys love this leader, as much as I love putting him out on the channel, which is very rare, you know, we're not going to sit here and play a ridiculous amount of games today. As much as I have played quite a bit today with Enel, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just spam Enel games. It's just not going to happen. This is one of those leaders that has been around for a very long time and is still dominant in today's metagame in OP07, so I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with how he works. But for those of you that are new out there and are interested in playing OP07, Enel is a leader to pick up, learn, and do very, very well with in the current format. Very, very strong at staying alive. And nobody likes you, considering you're playing yellow, unless you're a yellow player, as it is, so. But this should be a tough game. We are playing against Dragon. He has quite a bit of big body units that he can throw down on board. From Karasu's to, you know, the new Dragon. The 9 cost. So this is going to be a scary matchup. Unfortunately, though, the Bello Betty searches and everything, he's able to just amass a board so quickly. Speaking of which, Sanji, yep. Was that a 5k swing already? Some of these I don't mind too much, because then he'll swing in with that. Oh yeah, that's right. Leader ability. Yep. I totally forgot about that. And it's funny because I just put a video out on this. But yeah, he needs leader ability with Dragon and gives Sanji Rush as well, which is really good. So turn 2, 3 attacks already. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I figured he'd just pass there. We did get an Onami here. We have to try to clear board some way. So let's go 5 into Luffy. I think this needs to die. Just let it go. Oh, okay. Gives me a 2k. Wow. 2 2ks. I'll take that trade. That's fine. You can play Luffy down and get rid of the Sanji here. That's fine. Actually, you know, in hindsight, I should have got rid of the Luffy, right? Oh well. It be what it be. We got another 2k counter off that anyway, so it's not too bad. Our hand is looking pretty good. I'm not necessarily in danger right now, so. I wonder if he runs Chaka in this deck. Chaka's pretty scary, man, overall. But Luffy enables him to just gain Rested Dawn, and then he can take those Rested Dawn off Luffy with leader ability and put them on somebody else. It's a very good card in the deck. I didn't use it in my iteration of Dragon, but looking back, I think that's a really good card to add into it. Go 5 here. I kind of have to go ahead and do this. Ooh. Onami. Sure. That's one way to do it. We could discard the other Onami. It's not really going to get us any value at this moment in time. Or the Enel. The Enel has no counter, so that's probably the better scenario. 8k. Frankie. 1-drop. I don't know why I called her the 1-drop. Speaking of which, we draw another one. Flampe, stop it. Go away. Or Flampe. Sorry, my bad. We had 7 here. Give banish. 3 Dawn open. We might as well just go for it. So I'm not doing anything else with the rest of these Dawn here. Yep. Attack into the Bella Betty here. Look, she did something. Give it to me. You don't need it. Okay. Now it's the second time he protected the Luffy by giving me 4k counter. And then he protected the Bella Betty as well. So that's 3 Brooks in the trash that we know of, which is nice. But I also feel like that's a big misplay. He shouldn't have done that. I think he needs the 2k counter, but what do I know? It's 8 Dawn. So Dragon, yep. Here we go. 9k and 7k here. Or, sorry, if he swings the leader first, then he can attach the Dawn to Dragon and go for 11k. Which is more of a problem. Give him the 0-cost event just to stay alive here. So now it's either we give Flampe or one of the big bombs that we have in hands. It's probably better just to give away the 2k counter. Because next turn we can play down Katakuri and put Dragon into his life. You got it, buddy. Hey, look, Hiyori, that's really good. That is really good. Let's get rid of Yamato here. I know it's a tough one. We probably should get rid of Frankie or the 0-cost event. But considering we drew the Hiyori, if we survive the following turn, we can actually do the Hiyori and the 0-cost in life. I think Ace is too important to let go. Yamato does heal me, but I think Katakuri and Ace having the immediate impact is probably a little bit better. So I'm only popping, what, Bella Betty right now? And we're at 9. So I can't do the whole Katakuri thing and Hiyori thing right now. So let's do what we can. Let's put this in life, in the bottom. Then we'll let him go. He's got 5 cards left. I just hope he doesn't have another dragon here. If he doesn't, then we're chilling. He only attached 1 Dawn though, it's kind of scary. What do you have? What is it? Don't be a Newgate, please. Shanks. Interesting. Oh, that's right, he does have Rush. That's also a problem. But why play it and not attack? I guess because our leader ability, right? It's probably better for him not to attack, so we can just run Katakuri into Shanks by donning him up. So he probably made the correct play there. Let's go 5 lead. Start poking him down. Yep. We'll go 8. Well, if I swing here with Katakuri, he can just attack into it. I think there's no way around it. Come on. You got nothing. Oh, Fire Fist. Okay, never mind. Stand corrected. I think we have to get this down, though. As much as I wanted to just do the Hiyori thing, I think we had to get the extra life. Because I don't know if any of those other triggers was a dragon. Or another Shanks, for that matter. Round table. Into a Nico Robin. I love that. That's pretty good. I like that tech choice right there. I remember the old days where you could play round table into the Newgate decks. Back when Boat was the thing. That was pretty fun. So there's that. This is minus by 3,000 power. Yep. 4 Dawn left over. Does he play down blockers here? I could counter that out, but he has enough Dawn to stack on Dragon and just run into him as well. I need a Katakuri or an ace, I think, to stay alive. Oh, he does have a blocker. Alright. Sweet. Alright, so ace will not gain rush, right? He won't have rush. He will have rush if I play him down and I don't gain a life. But I don't think attacking with him is the thing I need to do right away. I think I just need to heal. As long as he doesn't have the 10-drop Shanks in his deck, I should be chilling. Playing this will kill the Chopper, and then I just attack him and give him the dragon back. And that's probably not what I want to do. Playing down Hiyori to get the extra life, I can't do that either right now. So I think this is the best play. Because we don't want to attack him unless we absolutely can just go for game. We need 2 bodies on board to do so. If I go 5 and he takes the dragon here, I'm hoping he doesn't. Okay, so he counters out. So to give me the blocker, I guess that's fine. We'll gain an extra life and pass it up. Because if he had gotten the dragon, that would be 3 attacks. We would still survive, but we would need a way to get rid of the Chopper, which we have in our hand, being the Luffy. And I'm sure someone's going to mention it down in the comments, but if he had taken the hit and gotten the dragon, right, he would have dragon, Shanks, and then possibly if he wants to attack with Chopper. So that's 4 hits. We'd still be at 3 life. I can take 3 of those successfully, gain an extra life, and have the counter to protect at least one of those because I have a 0 cost event in hand. So he wouldn't have been able to push for game there. Here's 5. I don't really mind too much. Ooh, Nami, thank you. We can go ahead and pop the Chopper here. Nami does not win us the game though, because I planned on playing Luffy down the following turn to pop that anyway. 7. Sure. 0 cost event. Nice. So now we actually have 2 of them to put in life next turn if need be. The boy's having a rough time. 2 cards in hands. I think we just go for it this turn. Go 10 lead and 15 with Enel. Or we can go 12. 10's fine. He only has 2 cards in hand. That's guaranteed. I think good game, buddy. It was a lot of fun. Very, very scary deck. I think Vivi and Dragon, like, just because they're older decks, people don't really experiment with them all too much. I think they're still pretty good. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everyone who decided to make it into the end of the video. Today seemed like a long day. It seemed like a lot of games that we sat here and played with Enel. I had a lot of fun with this leader, as I always do. I don't generally take Enel to like big local events or anything, because I feel like I see this guy everywhere I go, and he seems to be like a little bit overused. You know what I mean? I think him and RP Law I see the most. With that being said, though, there are still some other leaders, such as Vivi and Dragon, who I think do really, really well. A bunch of these older leaders that people aren't really experimenting all too much with. And I feel that's because people are just playing quote-unquote meta. Enel, Rablucci, Black Yellow Luffy. They don't really give the time to experiment with other leaders out there. Like Perona, you know what I mean? Not that those leaders are bad by any means, but you guys saw the Vivi match. You guys saw my last video with Vivi. I think decks that are like this, that people don't really have an idea on how to play against or how to play, can really surprise you. And this is why I love playing decks more so that are quote-unquote off-meta, or decks you don't see that often, because they have a lot of flexibility to them and a lot of ways that you can build them. And they're a lot of fun to play. Seeing decks all the time, such as Enel or like Sakazuki or Rablucci here on the channel, this is not something I generally do when it comes to content. So, you know, I do dabble in these decks here and there on the channel. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching them. But at the very least, we do have to dive into Rablucci on the channel here soon. So that's something that's going to be coming up. And I have a updated list that I want to do for Gecko Moria. So there are going to be some more meta decks that I am going to be playing around with coming soon. But overall, when it comes to Enel, I do think he is very, very strong, and I want you guys to build him if you're looking to go to regional events, you're looking to win big tournaments. I think he's very good in that regard. Regardless if you guys are going to get a lot of hate for it because he's a yellow deck, he's very overpowered to some degree for a lot of people. He's very strong at what he does. And I think just this iteration here, it can be adapted and changed and built in so many different ways that you can have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to this leader, and you can have fun with him. So give him a shot. Let them know what you think about him. Make sure you head over to Sleeve Chief, pick up some Enel sleeves if you guys are maining this leader in OP07. Without further ado, hopefully you guys enjoy your day. Come hop in the Discord, come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.